Greetings, everyone, and happy day before Cinco de Mayo. It's
Cinque de
like,
Quattro.
yeah,
Quattro de Mayo.
Cuatro de Mayo. Is that right?
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's right. It might be right. How is everyone doing this fine evening? Let's hop over into the room and see who all's here. Of course, this is Wild and Weird Radio Live, coming at you from some secret isolated base in the heart of West Virginia. We're going to check the room here and see who all's here tonight. We're going to be talking about some Bigfootery. You got your Bigfootery stories ready there, Brandon?
Sure.
Got our Bigfootery. All right. James Boggs is here. Dewey Edwards is here. Dewey sent the book. You got a copy too. Can't wait to break into this thing. And yes, absolutely, we're going to be breaking into this very shortly, and we'll probably be addressing some of the stories in there. I think we already have addressed some of the stories in there, honestly, but yeah, it was just cannot wait. Got, of course, to be on the road this weekend. So we've got spooky Appalachia in the house. It's spooky over in Appalachia. Brandon, I always see your name on here, and I'm starting to say, hey, Brandon Wills is here, but obviously Brandon Wills is here. What? Quit doing that. Got Pat. Pat's here. I'm here. Yay. Yes, absolutely. And we've got, keep going. I know Teresa's here. There she is. Hey, Teresa. Let's see. We've got Adam's here. Yeah. All right. Adam's here. All right. Adam's here. We got Jay Clower. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey, Jay. Dano Videos. Hello, Dano Videos. Hello, Facebook user. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And I think that might be it for right now. Jay Clower. Yeah, Jim, I know it's you. Okay, let's see. Let me go over and grab the link and throw it over here on the for everybody thing. Brandon, tell us what's going on this week. Is there anything else we need to know about?
Yeah, there's been a few things. They intercepted another balloon over Hawaii, but this time they didn't shoot it down.
Yeah, makes you wonder why, right?
They claim it wasn't flying over anything sensitive.
Oh, is
But
that what it was?
yeah, they also didn't say who it was from this time.
I wonder, who could it be? Anyone?
If it was actually a balloon.
Yeah, exactly. What do we know? Like, for real, has there any descriptions of this balloon
Well, they said it
at
was
this
a
time?
spherical object at
Okay.
first. Then they changed it and said balloon.
Okay.
And then they said they left it alone because it wasn't a threat.
Because they obviously realized that they need to stop saying things like spherical object when it's flying because, people going to do what people going to do. I mean, I know what I think when you hear that. What do you guys hear when they say
Yeah.
that?
What does that immediately make you think of?
It doesn't make me think of eggs. I'm just saying, it doesn't. So, or planes, but whatever.
Makes me think of saying escape pods that belong to
Could be
Frieza.
that. Could be that. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
It's Vegeta. He's coming to invade Earth.
It may be. I mean, probably coming to get some ramen.
There was also a video that came out of this huge cigar-shaped craft over China, and some analysts inspected it. It was over 9 minutes long, and they estimate that the craft was over a mile long, and it was at an altitude of about 70,000 or 80,000 feet.
Wait, what now? Say this again.
It was a mile long.
A mile long.
Yep. And the altitude was about 70,000 to 80,000 feet.
Okay. So where was this at?
It was in China.
So there's a Star Destroyer over China? Is that what I'm hearing? I mean, I'm just thinking. That kind of
If there
sounds
is
like
a
it.
mothership, that would be one.
That would be the mothership. We asked before what constitutes as a mothership. I think we have the answer now. It's a mile long. Wow, that's pretty big. So we're looking at something, Jeez. So what's the
A bit-
story on this thing? Like, is there any more news? Was it just a rumor? Was it in the Star? What?
Oh no, there's
what?
a video of it. You can actually watch it. The entire video is over 9 minutes.
I haven't seen this yet. You're going to have to send a link. I'm sure our inquiring audience wants to see it as well. Does everyone want to see the mothership? I mean, I'm sure you do. So what's the official word though? Is it like, legit, or are they saying, it's a hoax? Like they say everything's a hoax. I mean, I'm looking at it, guys. I'm watching this right now. So I
It
want
was
to see
analyzed
this.
by a photography expert.
All right, I want to see this thing. So you guys,
Actually, it goes all the way back to 1995.
what? Really? Okay.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't China. I was thinking of another one. This one was over Salida, Colorado.
I see it. Okay, I see it. Huh? 70 to 80,000 feet, 1 mile long. Wow.
Yeah, it's on old crappy, camcorder footage from the 90s, but you can still see it clearly. When you
Why is this just now coming out? Anybody want to tell me this? I'd like to know. Like, I don't remember ever seeing this. I've heard of this. I've heard of the 1 mile ship. The Battlestar size craft. But what is this thing? That's a good question, right?
Yeah, and to be 9 minutes long, that's a long sighting. Most
Yeah.
sightings are just like a few seconds at the most.
Yeah. So this does kind of, this could be one of those crazy high altitude platform kind of things, I guess. But man, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, guys, here is, what did I do with the video? I just had it. Hang on. Brandon, did you post the video up for everybody yet?
Where do you want me to post it?
Just post it in the chat so they can take a look at it. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I had not seen that, guys, and if I had seen it, I'd forgot. So that doesn't mean anything. It's been a little crazy around here. Been trying to get stuff ready for the show. Just got back, this week from Dave's show up at MonsterCon. That was fun. Had a lot of fun speaking there. Got to talk to some people. Got to present our data finally to about, I don't know, it's about maybe 30, 40 people there in the room. I don't know, maybe more than that. I don't have a clue because they just kept piling in. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got some good little time to hang out with some people, and I got to hang out with Wild Bill. That was fun. I don't even know how to explain that to you. It's the most surreal thing when you think about the fact that you're standing on a street corner for 2 hours in the cold, talking to this guy, and you're listening to every word he's saying. I mean, he's that interesting. Yeah, you might think, oh well, they play him out to be this, crazy person on TV, but he's really not. I mean, he's overly amped, yes, and that's him, 100%. But he's legit, man. Just a fun guy, totally fun guy. And Facebook user says, I'm glad you came to Richwood. I am too. It was a lot of fun. You guys have been really busy lately. Dude, you have no idea. For those who were at Richwood, you got to see the Wild and Weird Radio up live and personal. That was pretty cool. We had that thing out there fired up. And it was pretty memorable. I think we had a lot of fun with that.
Yep, and it's now festival season, so everything's going to be firing up soon.
It's now festival season officially. We'll be at OBC tomorrow, actually, and go out and do some stuff tomorrow evening with some from friends down there, and hopefully I'll have something to tell you guys, something really cool to tell you guys after that. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll see. But there's some interesting developments, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, if you're around Ohio and the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, be sure to find us. We'll have our table set up. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. Let's see who else we got. Well, we got going questions over here. So tonight, what we're going to be talking about is since we just did the same thing there. We talked about Bigfoot, and you guys, I don't know if you listened to last week's actual podcast or watched last week's podcast over on the channel. It was a Bigfoot centric episode. It kind of was like a briefing document, though, right? I mean, it was yeah. So. This week, we did the other part of the Bigfoot coin. We focused mostly just on hominids and, the relatives and our missing links and so forth. And it's going to be a really good episode as well. And I figured, well, okay, we're stuck in the middle here. I got Ohio Bigfoot coming up. So let's talk about Bigfoot tonight. But let's talk about everything Bigfoot. And I mean everything. Put it on the table. If you've had a Bigfoot sighting, let us know. If you've experienced weird lights with your Bigfoot sighting, let us know. We don't care. Everything goes on the table
Shot at a
tonight.
Bigfoot. Definitely let us know about that.
Yeah. If you actually took a shot at a Bigfoot, I've heard people who have said they have. If you have, yes, let us know. I want to hear from you guys. We definitely want to hear from you. Let's see. I'm going over here to check the chats, and it's pretty quiet right now. No one's really saying too much.
Oh, yeah, and you can also come on the show. We can invite you to come on the show and talk about your experience.
Yes, if you've actually seen something and you want to come on the show and say it, tell everybody. We'll send you a link, and you'll pop up right there.
Yeah, we can even hide your camera.
Oh, my God. Is that really Eric Altman that just popped in here? It is. Welcome, Eric. Welcome aboard. Eric was there. He got to see the presentation. Okay, what we got? Gigantopithecus just out there waiting in the woods. Well, I mean,
we do talk about that.
We do talk about Gigantopithecus. Yes, we absolutely do. But there's also weirder things out there waiting in the woods. Trust me. Some very weird things waiting in the woods. I didn't say that. You did. You said that. And sometimes it's not even puppy dude. Sometimes it's just making you think it's puppy dude. See, that's the weird part of this whole thing. I was actually reading a different book here, prepping for this weekend, because I'm going to be talking to somebody about this. And we'll be talking about that more later anyway. But if you haven't read this book, can you see it? Can you see that? Where's it at? Here it is. Have you read this yet, Brandon? Has anyone read this yet? Because if you haven't, you probably should. It'll definitely enlighten you to the more interesting aspects of the Bigfoot phenomena. And it'll also, if you have any experiences like me, it was just like, this was chilling to me. There's some stuff in here that's just like, oh my goodness, you've got to be kidding me. And it's stuff that I've heard, it's stuff I've experienced, and it focuses a lot on native lore and how it's a perception of that, which is amazing. Yeah, Adam, it's it's a good read, all right. Yes, sir. It definitely opens your mind up, doesn't it? What we got, Eric? I'm watching on my phone and can't see it. That's weird. Let's see what's going on with that. Anybody else watching on their phone? You got any issues with that?
Could be from the green screen.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Not sure. Interdimensional space Wookiees are my favorite theory of Bigfoot. Yeah, I know. That's kind of what it is. That's it. Oh yeah, Eric. That's Soul Snatchers. A quest for true human beings. Yeah, it's kind of small on your phone. You're right. By Robert W. Morgan. And you probably need to read that if you haven't. You, of all people, need to read that if you haven't, I think. No, it was just where it was small. That's all. I understand what he was saying now. I thought there was something else going on. Anyway, has anybody out there had any Bigfoot experiences except for Joe. Joe's here, and we know that Joe's had Bigfoot experiences. I mean, we've heard that multiple times, and we've heard that multiple times too. But if you want to hear them, I'm sure they'll chime in with them, and we can do that. But I'd really like to talk to someone out there who has, because we've actually got a case right now that we're working on. Eric, of course. That was a dumb question, wasn't it? Plenty. Yes. Yes, he has. He has had plenty indeed. Eric, if you wanna come on the show, you're more than welcome to, by the way. That can be arranged. All I gotta do is send you a link, and you just hit that and you're on. You can do audio or video, it doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm curious as to what others may think about this as far as Bigfoot goes. What is your actual theory on it? I want to hear you first, Brandon. Then I want to hear everybody in the audience chime in on that. When I say Bigfoot, what do you think of, Brandon?
I think of a very tall, hairy beast out in the woods, but my theory on it is that sometimes people are seeing two different things. I think some people see the flesh and blood creature, and then other people see something mimicking that flesh and blood creature. Just like Puppy Dude. I think there's two different Puppy Dudes.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is that it falls within the realm of this thing that can cause us to have multiple perceptions of, okay, yeah. And I think Eric said it best. Bigfoot is an unexplained anomaly, and yes, I believe that is probably the best description that I can think of. Yeah. And what Adam says, he thinks of Homer Simpson left in the woods for a few days. Okay, I could see that. Yeah. But anyway, as far as it goes, man, my encounters with this thing, and not just my own, but just my encounters in general, like my experience with the people I've interviewed who have seen these things, you're either you're looking at, like you said, there's two things, or there's one thing, one very, 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 very clever thing that's really a master manipulator. But my whole thing is, I think it's a little bit beyond this simple explanation. I just don't think it's as simple as we think it is, as we think it could be. It's not just this, it's a flesh and blood. Okay, well, if it's flesh and blood, that's wonderful. Where's the body? Where's everything that we need to prove that it's a flesh and blood creature, if that's the case? Do we have that? And if we do, where is it? I think a large woolly hominid that may or may not exist. And boy, that's pretty much sums that up, right? But my whole thing with this is, I kind of always thought it was just a creature too. I mean, when you see the Patty film, you think, that's a creature. That's just a really big creature, and it yells and it screams and it's seen in the woods. I mean, it made sense to me. It's like, that's a creature. And then later on, I talked to some people and I learned some things, and those things are now echoed in this book, which is just terrifying to me because, I kind of thought they were right before, and now I'm pretty much convinced it's probably solid. But the native way kind of points that these things are a little more than just physical creatures. That they're a little bit of a mix between both worlds. And what do we got here? Dino video. There were Native American guards at the Sundance ceremony. They said that the Bigfoot protect a larger perimeter around the ceremony in the spiritual realm.
What's interesting about that is the burial in the Creel Mound in South Charleston.
Talk about that, Brandon. Talk about that.
I just reread that yesterday. There were 10 bodies positioned almost like a star formation around a very tall human that was close to 8 feet tall.
It was close
Measured
to
like
it.
7'8" or something.
Yeah, they weren't sure because the skull was missing conveniently. You find that in a lot of those cases, by the way. The skull's missing, or it's crushed, or it's destroyed. That's, makes perfect sense considering it was probably an elongated skull. But anyway, so those skeletons, this was always a thing for me. They were arranged in such a way that it looked like they were. Didn't they have their back to it? To the larger one? Is that how
Their feet were facing it?
Is that what it was? Their feet were facing it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that I think I've always said this. Those were either guards or they were I don't know. They were something. They were like royal guards almost, if you want to think of it like that.
I think it was one of the ones in Dunbar where there were actually two very tall people that were guarding the entrance to the tomb.
That may have been that may have been the one over at wait, is that the Shawnee Mound? No relation to Shawnee, by the way. That's just the name they gave it.
Yeah, I think that might be it.
Okay. No, Joe said that is the one from Shawnee. Yeah, that's what I thought too. My buddy went to Sundance Tree in the off season, and there were huge rocks thrown near their heads. There you go. How many of you guys have experienced the whole rock throwing thing? I witnessed it one time. I witnessed it actually one time, and I don't know if that was, if it was, from something or what, and it wasn't a rock. That was, Eric's had it happen. Yes, Eric had it happen. Saw it with my own eye, heard it, and we talked about that before. That was a big beech nut about that big, gnawed, like something just chewed it to pieces, and just beamed it pretty much at Joe. Yeah, it was pretty much beamed at Joe. And
like you guys caught it snacking, and I was like, get away.
I don't know, man. It was weird. It was really, really, really weird is what it was. And to this day, I still don't know, what that was. I rationalized it at the time. I was like, well, that's got to be, a squirrel dropped it. And I'm like, there's no squirrel. What is it, a giant squirrel that's, chewing this thing and then spit it out?
Have you ever been hit by a nut that a squirrel's throwing? They
No.
throw pretty hard.
Well,
It'll ring your bell a little bit when they hit you with
I think the weird thing was, though, that it didn't come straight down, Brandon. It came from an angle. That was the weird part. And then it had, I swear to you, man, it looked like something was gnawing on this. And when I say something, I don't mean an animal. I mean, it looks like you or me was literally just chawing on this thing and got tired of it. It was just like, bing. And that's what happened. What we got, Eric? Remind me to tell you my Salt Fork, Ohio story sometimes. Yes, I sure will, my friend. I definitely want to hear that.
I dug up one of my favorite BFRO reports to read.
Which one?
So this one took place October. It was actually Halloween 2020. It was near Hocking Hills.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what it says happened. 10 of us rented a cabin in the woods Thursday, October 29th through Saturday, November 1st. It was located in Logan, Ohio, near Hocking Hills.
Okay.
Everything was normal until Friday. We all started smelling a nasty smell. Couldn't figure out where it was coming from. They didn't smell it in the cabin, just in the outside. Late Friday night after midnight, 2 people were on the deck and everyone else went to bed. They started hearing loud noises like tree branches breaking and felt like they were being watched. Sometimes it sounded like something was being thrown. They thought it was one of us pranking them. Then came a loud bang near them, so they ran into the cabin from the upper deck. Then one guy came into their room and told them what was going on. So they went out with another girl, went down to the kitchen area, and they all started looking out the windows to try to figure out what was going on. They turned all the lights off so they could see better. And within minutes, one girl was yelling that there it is. It was the kitchen window, and in the field right in front of them, there was a large black figure walking on 2 feet towards the cabin. They all started screaming, "What is that?" And then all of a sudden they turned and it went back in the woods after I heard them screaming. Everyone went on the deck and heard howling noises that no one has ever heard before. And and loud noises like tree branches breaking. And then the loud sounds in front of the cabin suddenly stopped. This is witnessed by 10 different people at the same time, basically.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, actually. 10 witnesses. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. See, we got that became an episode on Terror in the Woods on the Travel Channel. Oh, the one that Eric had. Yeah, that'll be a good story. Yeah, we can get you on at some point and let you tell that too. And then Pat wanted to know if it makes him a Bigfoot because he's throwing rocks at people's heads. So, but okay.
Did you hear me when I was saying all that?
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause
yeah, it's working good.
Okay.
So, yeah, as far as it goes, I've seen enough at this point to know that there's something out there. I don't know what it is, and I'm not willing to jump on one of those, one of those sides and say it's absolutely this or absolutely that. There could be two things. There could be. Yeah, he said your video was flickering, but they heard you just fine. So yeah, there's a flicker every now and again. I've seen that. So, what? Brandon needs a camera upgrade or poltergeist is haunting him. He keeps flashing. You got poltergeist, but
Matt Moneymaker personally investigated this one.
Oh yeah,
Forgot to read that part.
Wow.
He said that they used one of her sons to measure it.
Uh-huh.
He's about 6 feet tall, and they said the figure was much taller than him. So it's definitely not like somebody out there pranking him or anything.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I mean, I think when you see this thing, right away that's not normal. I don't know what that is, but it's not normal. It's like the one that I had seen there at up at Joe's camp. That wasn't normal. I knew I was looking at something that it was just too big. It just didn't make any sense. And I think that's one of the issues you have with these things. When you witness something like this, it's like it didn't make any sense. It's like when I saw that shadow thing that time. It didn't make any sense, and it really it makes you question yourself in real time, even much less later. But then you remember it explicitly, of course, because it's burned into your brain, because it is just so weird. Go ahead there, Brandon. Can you hear? Your mic's out.
That's weird. It muted itself.
There it is. Yeah, you got poltergeist, man. So tonight we have found out that Brandon has poltergeists. Apparently, it is true. It is exactly what they said about Skinwalker Ranch, that this phenomena apparently is very contagious, and just talking about it can cause poltergeists.
I think it attached to me after Brandon Fugel liked my tweet.
That's what it is, man. It's when you were talking to Brandon there, and yeah, man, I see that flash. That's wild. You're getting a flash every now and again. Yeah. So there it is. Oh my God, he's haunted. It's confirmed. Well, everybody, I don't know what to do about that, because that's beyond anything I can do anything about. I guess we'll have to maybe we can call the ghost squad or something in to help get rid of the ghosts. Maybe I don't know. Maybe get Dewey to come over there. He can write a book about it, and why not? It'd be a great thing.
Yeah, I'll bring his Haunt Me Elmo over with.
Yes, bring the Haunt Me Elmo. There, look, there it is. Get Dewey down there. Yeah, with the Elmo to check it out. Yep, exactly. You got it. Call Joe. Nah, we don't need to do that. He's here. He's always here. He's kind of like halfway omnipotent at this point, I think. But anyway, so back to the Bigfoot thing. we talked a lot about Bigfoot in the past 2 weeks is what I'm getting at. And we've looked at multiple aspects of the phenomena at this point. It didn't help me one bit. I don't know if it helped any of you guys to figure out anything, because it really didn't. I'm still as confused as I was from day one. I think that at some point we're talking about something that is so obviously not just a big lumbering creature, but something far more intelligent and possibly far more ancient than just a big lumbering creature, which may have an ordinary lifespan for all we know.
I don't think it's just an ordinary creature. It wouldn't be able to hide for as long as it can from us.
Well, you got the hiding, you've got the disappearing, you've got the transformation process that people have witnessed. They've seen it disappear. They've seen it.
I sort of wonder if Bigfoot's not actually disappearing, or if people are just really bad at watching animals in the woods.
I don't know, man.
You can have deer just seem like they disappear if you don't know what you're doing.
You can and have them appear, but you can also have these cases where literally someone watched this thing disappear, like disappear. That's not normal, man. That is not normal.
No, if that actually happened, no, it's not.
So, and I'm not going to doubt them at this point, because there's just too much weird stuff that's associated with this thing at this point. You know what I mean? I mean, we've got cases where footprints change from human to something else. We've got three-toed footprints, like, Stan has mentioned. We've got, large size footprints turn into small footprints. I mean, we've got everything under the sun out there. That shouldn't happen.
There's
That's
also
a physical.
weird cases where, like, Bigfoot footprints will turn into bear tracks.
Right. It's a physical transformation. How is that happening? You tell me how that's happening. If we're dealing with a physical creature, I want to know how that's happening. If anyone has an answer, I am all about listening to you. Maybe it's similar to the Predator. Yeah, maybe. I mean, which, the Predator was an alien. So I'm just saying. Nature spirit, interdimensional being, or both? Yes. That's a very fair.
Limberman. Maybe that's really Bigfoot.
Maybe. My family had Bigfoot encounters back 2001, 2003 in Cabell County.
Tell us about it.
Robin Sims. Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about it. If you want, we're all ears. We're all listening here tonight. There won't be any hecklers. And if there are, we'll get the rest of our crew to get rid of them, and we'll sick Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey on them. So you're all safe. We're being watched over. Twice now, my dog has teleported to the other side of the dog park fence when I looked away for just a second. So I can understand how a Bigfoot can just disappear. Yeah, I got a cat that does that too.
Worrisome.
It's kind of scary, isn't it? Facebook user. Hey guys, I came in by Facebook. What's the question? Hey Facebook user. The question is, have you seen Bigfoot? Do you know anyone who has seen Bigfoot? And what do you personally believe Bigfoot may or may not be? What we got? Mushrooms. One makes you tall, one makes you small. Hey, you never know. I mean,
here's another one to throw at people.
Yeah.
Do you have any family stories about Bigfoot?
Yeah,
Not
family
just your own,
stories.
but did your grandpa take a shot at one? Did he see one when he was deer hunting? Stuff like that.
Yeah, great questions. My experiences are here in Southwest Virginia. Yes, let's hear them, Facebook user. If you don't mind, we will definitely put them up there. And no one knows your name, so it's all the best. We can't see your name here. Let's see. Actually, now they do, because I know who you are. It's Anita Allen. My experiences are in Southwest Virginia. Anita has shared things before, so it's going to be a good one. I can promise you that. So, am I the only one out there who can see this thing for possibly more than just a physical creature, or is that just me? Am I putting more on this because of this desire to put it all into a convenient lump, as some think, or is there evidence that kind of shows that this might be something a little more, out there? You tell me. Sky Daddy Matthew McConaughey will escort any haters out of the chat. You have no idea how true that statement is. He's watching. I had to do it.
Oh, I had no idea you made that.
I had to do it, man. I had to do it. Anyway, I figure that one's gonna be around for a while. Let's see, Robin Sims. I saw Bigfoot on the back of our farm. I stumbled on him while walking the ridge of our property. It took off running down over the hill, our dog chasing it. Hey, do you remember if you had any weird feelings right before or after that happened, or if anything happened afterwards? That might be odd, Robin.
Or did it do anything to your dog?
Yeah, was there any side effects, anything that you can think of?
Or did it like growl or throw anything at your dog?
Teresa, one of my maybe experiences seems definitely more than just a physical creature. I seem to have physically communicated with something or someone very briefly out in Canoa State Forest. Read this book. Read this book. Hey, see this? Go read that book. Go read that book, Teresa. Go read that book. Trust me. I didn't write it, but I could have probably wrote some of it. That's the scary part. Blew my mind. Let's just say that. What we got? My buddy was dreaming about a white one for a week without mentioning it to anyone. Then his mom saw a white one cross the yard later that week. When she told him, he wasn't surprised. Me either, Dano. Me either.
That's a heck of a premonition.
That's not a premonition. That's the kind of stuff that kind of happens with these. Dano, was there any native descent in any of those families by any chance? Just questioning that. Let's see. I think Fishbelly's here somewhere. Oh, yep. Fishbelly's here. Fishbelly. Welcome. Welcome. Matthew. Yeah, may he be. Yes, absolutely. And no side effects, but at that time, my kids would have huge rocks thrown at them when they were playing. Wow, how many times did that happen? I mean, was that a constant thing? Hey, Christy, the book is Soul Snatchers, A Quest for True Human Beings by Robert W. Morgan, and it was suggested to me by Glenn Adkins. And what's really amazing about this is that he tried to get me to read this book last year. We had a long discussion about some of the weirder aspects of Bigfoot that I was, coming up with, and he was like, "You need to read this book." And I'm like, "Okay," but I never did until recently, and I got it because he got on to me, and he was like, "I'm coming to Ohio Bigfoot. Have you read the book yet?" So I was like, okay, I got to. But anyway, this is stuff that was known, back in the 60s, guys. And we're just now kind of starting to come to terms with this stuff, kind of coming to grips with it again. Let's see. All I ever see at Canoa State Forest is zombies, mostly at the gun range. Wrong ones. Shaman people. There you go. That's what I was wondering about, Dano. That's what I was wondering about. So basically, yes. That answered that. Let's see, Robin. We were also having a lot of UFO activity at the same time that the Bigfoot activity was occurring. Thank you, Robin. Thank you. Can you describe those by any chance? Any of the UFO sightings, experiences? Facebook user, Anita. There you go, Anita. I just see a Facebook user, sorry. Okay, long story short, I was testing out new recording equipment and getting photos of a protected site that couldn't possibly have Bigfoot on it. That could possibly have Bigfoot on it. March 4 inches or more hard packed ice. Oh, it was March. I got you now. It was March. There was 4 inches of more of hard packed ice. Heard something walking toward me, as close as 30 feet. Clear view, could not see it. Began recording for my friend I was doing this for. I stopped walking, and then something made a bark cough on my left, which was replied to on my right. I said, nope, and left with the camera facing backwards. Yeah, that was smart, I think.
I would have noped out of there too.
Yep, that was a smart thing. Yeah, that walking backwards thing is something. I mean, you really do that. That's what me and Joe did out at the farm. It's like, nope, we're not turning our back on that. It ain't happening.
That's what Les Stroud says he does after he had his Bigfoot encounter.
Walks backwards.
He'll put a GoPro facing backwards.
Oh yeah,
walking through the woods.
Oh yeah. Well, the old the South American the native way down that way, they would paint eyes on the back of their helmets and on their on their backs, actually, on some of them, just so
supposedly that will actually scare off predators if you do that.
I can see that. Robin, yes, rocks thrown at my kids several times. An Ohio Bigfoot research team came to our farm in 2003 to search for footprints, but didn't see anything. I honest to goodness almost always find this stuff when we're not looking. Like tomorrow night, I'm going to go out. We're going to go out to a place, and it's like, bring some equipment. I'm thinking, should I?
Well, there's a lot better equipment than what we had 20 years ago.
Still yet. That's what I'm getting at.
A team can get out there again and maybe find something.
Oh yeah, you mean them?
Find 20 years ago.
Right. I'm just thinking that whole quantum thing. The whole thing of if I'm out there looking for it, I'm probably not going to see it. But if I'm not looking for it, more chances are pretty good I'm probably going to see it. Anita, I never saw anything in the recording. I don't think William found anything either. The site had a lot of regular activity, and one creature, knockers, regularly interacted with me. Never saw it though. Never saw any of them. Got rocks thrown and photos of tracks. Looks like we got a lot of rocks thrown tonight, guys. Like a lot of people have had rocks slinged at them. Robin, glowing balls of light in the sky. A triangle-shaped UFO was seen by me and my 5 kids one evening after coming home from a 4-H meeting. It was silent. Had 3 white lights on the underside. There's your typical flying triangle, guys. Right there. Silent lights. You got the glowing
balls of light in the sky.
Yep.
Sounds like a Ronnie James Dio song.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Glowing balls of light. Right there it is in the sky. I mean, that's significant. And all this happened around the same time that you were having the Bigfoot encounters.
Yeah.
Yep. Anita, in India, they use masks on the back of their heads because tigers like to cough and make you turn around before attacking. Tigers have a sick sense of humor. How about that? Wow.
Well, that's sort of like how hunters will like make a noise to make a deer stop, and then
yeah,
same thing.
Hey, before we go any further, you just said deer, and you know what that means. It means I'm going to talk about something that's not a deer. So you've been playing the new Fallout board, Brandon?
Not yet.
No? Okay. Well, on your game board, you'll see that there's a little play buttons there. And you get to hear the tales of the weird and wild. Okay?
Wait,
True
that's
story.
what it's called?
And just go with it. Just go hit the play button and listen. And you'll get to hear what they say. But one of the episodes, I think it's the second one, is about not deer. And yeah, Bethesda, what are you doing? I just want to address this right now in front of God and everybody. What are you doing? You're addressing a not cryptid, and you've got everybody under the sun who wants Bigfoot in this game. You're not putting Bigfoot in the game. Instead, you put an Ogwa That's nice. That's cool. It's a giant turtle. All right. You put a freaking man in the game, and you're not putting Bigfoot. And you don't even tell us, the puppy thing's name. You have it. I can respect that though. They didn't use the name, by the way. They used something else. It was some weird blue beast or something like that. I don't know where that came from. If anyone does, enlighten me. Sorry, that was just my rant on Fallout.
Well, that's going to cause a spike in sightings of not deer now.
It probably will, and we had literally just gotten it under control. Our episode, what was the episode called? I can't remember the name of it. Anybody remember? It was the Obscure Cryptids.
Yep.
And on Obscure Cryptids, I literally found evidence, not proof, but I found evidence of where this story, well, I did find proof where the story came from, but I found evidence that it, good Lord, I just saw that flash and you turned green for a second. That was crazy. Anyway, I saw evidence that some of these stories may have originated from a possible encounter with something else that isn't anything related to a deer, but deer have been reported to, be around these intelligences, so to speak. So basically what I'm saying is aliens. Let's see. Fishbelly, 1974. Early morning, walking along the creek to my first trap set. So there you go. There's Nita. Mine threw small rocks to make you look their way and come closer. Yes, they're clever. They want you to come to them, don't they?
One of the creepiest things I've ever heard, and it's been reported pretty frequently, is people will hear voices beckoning them into the woods.
Yeah, man. Yes.
That is terrifying.
Not just voices. not just voices. You'll hear that weird chanting stuff that we heard. You'll hear the baby crying, for God's sake. They heard that. And then you've got things where they're mimicking animals. I just had this lengthy conversation with Stan this past weekend. Stan Gordon was telling me all about some of the cases. We were comparing notes, and he's like, yeah, man, this thing can sound like anything. It can make you think it's anything. I went one as far as that, and I'm thinking that this thing can project images into your head and make you see it as anything, which means, can you actually trust anything you're seeing in the woods? Maybe it's a not deer. Absolutely.
Well, if you've ever read The Messengers, you know that you can't.
I don't have that book, but I did watch about 3 or 4 of his lectures. Wow. Speaking of which, that's what we'll be diving into. We'll be diving into it very shortly, but you guys will hear it next week. We're going to be talking about the messengers kind of thing with the owl alien connection. And my goodness, is it? And it's not just owls, right, Brandon?
Not just owls.
It's not just owls. Sometimes it's what, Brandon?
Sometimes it's aliens.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it's aliens.
I want to refresh my feed real quick because it's glitching.
Yeah, go ahead. Do that because it's really weird. Everybody's seeing it too. It's
You're
even
back.
better. Yeah, go ahead. You're good. Let's see. Spooky. It's a blue wolf and not Bigfoot. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. Nita sculpted a devil deer for an art show. Now it scares the neighbor's kids on my carport. That is a work of art, I'm sure. Absolutely. Anything that scares kids has got to be good. I mean, it's got to be funny. It's going to be funny. Bigfoot would just be a reskinned super mutant behemoth if they did it anyway. You're right, man. What am I thinking? They're not really going to model anything, are they? Yeah, you're probably right about that.
All right, let's try it now.
What we got here? At the school bus stop up our driveway, my kids had a scare from a loud beeping noise coming from the sky. As it got closer, the beeping got louder and faster, like a metal detector. Then the bus came. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. How about that? I'm telling you guys, This is just a small. You're seeing it for yourself right here, live right now. You're seeing it, and there are people who are having these experiences. They can't be ignored. Friends, it reminds me of watching old, worn-out VHS tapes. I know, right? It's a really cool effect. If I could just figure out how he's doing it, I would use this in our videos. Seems our ducks and dogs were going crazy at that beeping sound. So there was an actual effect, a biological effect. And this is Anita. That weird stuff happens at my friend's farm. Someone said they think one of the weird creatures seen is a female puppy person. Oh my. How about that?
That'd be terrifying.
Wouldn't it?
No thanks.
Wouldn't it though? Yep, bobcats do cry like babies, but this wasn't just crying like a baby, brother. This was the baby. This was the sound, 100% from what they were saying. We had multiple witnesses who were hearing the exact child. It was weird, and it wasn't coming from outside, by the way. That wasn't coming from outside. That was the weirder part. Oh, we're gonna get a photo. Be right back. I'll send you a photo.
Ooh.
Sweet.
That's the best stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so how many of you guys have? All right, there it was. The door's been opened at this point. We've got people seeing UFOs with these things now. You know, the orbs, the lights. And Dewey, Ron, being a tech guy, do you have any experience with SDR software defined radio? Actually, no. Explain that or send me a link, because it sounds like something I really need to know a little more about. Oh, yeah, there is that. Plus, you know, Joe knows what a bobcat sounds like. It's one of the advantages, I have to say, of going into the woods with Joe. You get to go in with a master naturalist, and if I don't know what it is, chances are he knows what it is. And when I look over and he doesn't know what it is, that's when I say, okay. Faster and louder beeping usually precedes the explosion of a bomb. Well, you know what's really weird about that, Pat, is some of these encounters that we're hearing, there's mention of a metallic sound or some kind of static or something to that nature. It's very interesting because it kind of seems like these are occurring and they're measurable, and sometimes it's a ting, sometimes it's a pop. But what's really interesting is sometimes these things may look like a possible like a tree knock. Are those tree knocks? You have to wonder.
Some people think it might be them clapping their giant hands.
Might be.
Hands are just so big and thick that it sounds like a tree knock.
I mean, it might be. Who knows? We don't know. Joe said that it's avionics equipment. What do we got? Okay, she sent. Okay, let's see the pic. This is the picture. So I'm going to go pull this. We'll see what we got. See how terrifying this is. Open, open, open. Oh dear God. Oh man, you guys have got to see this. This is great. All right, let's pop this over here. Over here. So who made these? This is amazing. These are absolutely amazing sculptures. Where do you see these? And yes, quite terrifying. I would imagine putting these out in someone's front yard would cause quite the stir. And I would be all about that. Just saying. So, let's go over here and grab it. It's here somewhere. Thursday. There we are. Okay, here they are. these up. Okay. Terrifying.
Oh my
Literally,
God.
absolutely terrifying. Who wants to put that out in your yard? I mean, can you imagine how many people would take pictures of that and post it to TikTok? I'm just saying this would be viral on TikTok. I know it would be. There'll be people parking in your yard just to come up.
Deer.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look,
Yeah, it's not a deer. It's a
yeah.
sculpture.
You're right. It's not. It's not a deer. But look at this one. This is even better.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, right? I don't know what that is. It's some kind of a serpentine thing. It's almost like the vegetable man got ate by a boa. Maybe. I think it is. I think that's the vegetable man being eaten by a python. Maybe. Not a boa. I don't know why I said
I think
boa.
the Mesoamericans
wrong.
had a god that was a giant snake.
It was so wrong. Bobcat screaming in the woods at night has the same effect as an overdose of X-Lax. Yeah.
That brown note.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get up here. Let's see. All activity stopped around 2006 or so when my youngest was 11. In 2014, she had been adamant that a gray was in her room one night in the corner as tall as our ceiling. She started severe anxiety. Yes. That's pretty much post-traumatic stress, and that's a common thing, Robin. Yeah, I totally believe her. There's not a question in my mind. And then she needed medication after that. Here's the thing about that. You go through this period to where you read a lot of stuff, you hear a lot of things, you do the deep dives, and I don't know her story. I mean, I would love to hear her story, honestly. But she's okay. She's normal. There's nothing wrong with her. It shouldn't be anything, embarrassing. There shouldn't be anything, people think I'm crazy. Hey, look, I mean, they happen. You saw the little patch everybody has, encounters happen, make them safe, etc. Yeah, that's true. Encounters happen. But I'll go ahead and add this to you. Encounters happen, and there's not a thing you can do about it. That's a fact. You're not going to stop them. You might be able to meet them on a certain level and make them not as terrifying. But when we're dealing with something alien, truly alien, whether that be a Bigfoot or whether that be, an actual extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional, whatever they are, whether it be something like that, your mind just can't comprehend something that doesn't fit into your known reality. And that's where you get into trouble. That's when belief systems get challenged. That's when you have issues with that kind of stuff. And
there's like a breakdown mentally whenever all that stuff starts collapsing in on itself.
100%.
Oh yeah, it's rough for
It's 100%. Yeah, it's 100%. And Robin, if you would like, I can see if we can get some info for her if she is interested. If she's not, then so be it. I also tell people, don't look into it if you don't want to know. I mean, that's just it. But oftentimes, if you do look into it, you find that it wasn't as bad as you perceived it at first because of the fear. And it's absolutely terrifying at times. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you.
It was what helped me a lot was when I discovered Coast to Coast AM. Hearing other people on there talk about other people who had the same experiences that I had.
Oh, and they're identical. That's the scary part. They're identical. I'll ask this, Robin. Do you remember any time when in your house when she was growing up there? Do you remember any time that either you or her or somebody found a particular spot in that house that was just absolutely terrifying to you, that just brought for like high anxiety, unusual fear? You didn't know why. There was no logical clue.
A place you did not want to go.
Deep dread. Yeah. Place you didn't want to go. Deep dread. See if you can remember that.
Did you ever have ghost activity too in the
Right.
house? Or what you thought might have been ghost activity?
Right. Facebook user. Why do I keep saying that? Because it shows you over here, and then I see Anita over here. I made them. I follow you because you're a fellow artist. My house rocks at Halloween. I can imagine.
Anita, you're going to inspire some new cryptids with these sculptures.
You be careful. You be careful. Someone's going to be seeing your sculptures, and they're going to be photoshopping them, and possibly using AI to regenerate them, and then
Suddenly that sculpture is going to be out in the woods, peeking behind a tree.
That's right. Well, now AI can animate it, Brandon.
That too, yeah.
So you can imagine that thing chasing you around. Yeah, it's nightmare fuel. Adam, I'd put it in my living room. Yeah, you would. Oh my gosh, spooky. I would put one out. I'd be terrified to put it out, guys.
Hey, speaking of, I have been trying to find somebody who makes those concrete Bigfoot statues. There was somebody actually on my road who used to do that, but they don't have them anymore. So I've been trying to find somebody so I can buy one.
Oh, okay. So if anybody knows where to buy a giant Bigfoot, concrete Bigfoot statue, let us know. Brandon wants one.
I know Wayne used to sell them.
He did. He sold me one because I felt sorry for him. God bless him. Anyway.
Got you with the old con, huh?
Yeah, he's good. He was good like that, man. He was great like that. You have no idea. He could, yeah. Yep.
So popsicles to an Eskimo.
He could. Adam says it's Tire Snake Man. Yes, that's the name. I think it's as good as any. Anita, see, I got it right this time. Dude, I forgot to warn my friend in the U-Haul that it glowed in the dark. The screams were epic. What, did you video this? You should have videoed this. I am disappointed. If you video this, you video it and we'll show it the next time. That's what you do. Next time you video that and we'll show it. And we'll send you we'll send you a sticker or something.
That thing out for Halloween.
And Tire Snake looks like Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, kinda does. You could turn it into that really easy. Anita, my first UFO encounter may have been interrupting an abduction. Yeah, you told me about that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Story. That was like.
And look here. There's our answer.
5 lives ago, I think.
There's our answer. Yes. So everybody seems to have. This is what kind of helped me, Robin, was when I realized that others were having this exact same strange trauma. And the trauma was that there's this place in their house that causes this unusual and unnatural deep dread. And they don't know why. Now, I knew where mine was, and I'll tell you where it was. Back in the day, in the old house where I grew up in the bathroom, back there, it was built, it was an old house. It was built to face the back of where this other room once was. There used to be a wall there. It was tore out. Now it's just this big long area. And in the very, very back is where we used to keep all our canned goods. And there was a freezer back there. And I had this weird sense of dread to go in there and to look down that particular hallway, that back toward that wall. And I remember at one point having this memory, not a dream, just a memory, that there was a light that appeared back there. And, it's just out of place memory. It's like, well, that's weird. Why would I even think that? And yeah, it caused a pretty vivid trauma for ages. This isn't stuff you just get over, by the way. It's just stuff you talk to others about, and you eventually learn to move on and realize you're not alone. But, now I kind of think that was probably, it was probably a portal. I'll be honest with you. I think these are portals. I think that there are places like that, and that's where these intelligences move around through. It sounds crazy, I know, but once you get into some quantum mechanics, it starts to make really make sense, and that's terrifying because it makes
Sometimes
sense.
too, people report that certain area will feel a lot colder than the room temperature. Some people even say it'll feel hotter than the room temperature.
Yeah, or it can be foggy. There's all kinds of different things. Yeah, it's true. Fish belly, my first clue. Turning on a light, I saw muddy water cow. I saw it in the brush. It in brush. Thought not cow. Started to raise light. It exploded down creek. Thought cows don't do that. Like my mind bug. That's not a cow. Yeah, right. So you questioned it. You saw something. You knew it just wasn't right. But the funny thing is, you at the time you don't question it. You question it later, but you don't question it at the time. You never question it at the time. It's like when we had our, whatever that thing was, that Mothman type experience. That thing I saw. We didn't talk about that. Me and my wife saw that thing. We didn't talk about that thing. We didn't talk about that
Did I
thing
ever
for
tell you about the
almost
time
20
I
years.
saw a ghost hitchhiker?
No, I bet that was a good one.
I think this was like,
And there you go, Brandon. We have ghost activity all the time. All 5 kids are grown and gone. Just me and the husband now. We have more activity now than when the kids were little.
so hear me out. So
Go.
maybe that tall gray that she saw wasn't actually a gray, but it was some sort of spirit messing with her mentally to scare her. Some people think that certain entities will feed off your fear. So maybe it was trying to scare her to feed off of her. Sort of like a parasite.
That was an episode of Star Trek, Next Generation. You remember that? It was a 2-parter. It's the one where, yeah, man, this was a great one. It was, what was the name of that episode?
The one where Wesley dies.
No, it's the one where Data dies. It's the one, the first time. It's where Mark Twain, Tom's Arrow.
Uh-huh.
Is it Tom's Arrow? Is that it? If I remembered that, I am a sick person if I just remembered the name of that episode. That's literally been ages since I've seen that. Pat, go check that. See if that was Tom's Arrow, the one where Mark Twain is in. Because what it was is there was this alien species, and it's very much like what's going on, honest to goodness. It's like it could have been at Skinwalker Ranch. There's this alien species, and they're harvesting fear, literally. And they got like these reptile staffs or something, and they put them down, and they suck the fear out of these people, but it kills the people. That's the weird part, and it's happening back in like the 1800s. But they're time traveling aliens, and they're shifted out of phase. You can't see them. Sound familiar? Because that's pretty much really, I think, what's kind of happening. But of course they build pattern buffers, and then you can see them, and that's what we're working on, by the way, is trying to figure out how to make a pattern buffer just to let you know, that way we can see them. But yeah, it was a great episode. Everybody check that out.
Like that beeping noise she heard. Some people say that that could be like a Bigfoot mimicking that noise. Maybe it was nearby in the woods or something, trying to scare them off. Because kids wait for the bus pretty early in the morning.
Well, we know that they mimic everything at this point, so who knows?
They even make noises that sound like car doors.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We hear whispering voices at night, footsteps. We see shadow figures. Yep.
You guys need to get a ghost team out there.
Anita, they are my bestiary series. I have several about to start. 3 more, 2 big outdoor ones, and a small Killian. The Bigfoot statue can be found in TN or online. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. They're just amazing. From one artist to another, they are amazing. I would definitely have one in my front yard just to scare the crap out of my neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
There's no question. And I know that many people would. And those are awesome, for real. I love those things.
Can you make a Bigfoot inspired one, Anita? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
One that's going like this.
Okay, we got Anita. Tire snake is old snag, a territorial aquatic cryptid found in dark, opaque, and silty waters. It's what hangs up on your fishing line. You drag it up and see what looks like a tire or branch break, surface, and sinks. That's funny because
I hate those things.
I do too. I always have this deep fear I'm going to snag a body. It's fun.
Pull in a good old stick bass.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's interesting, though. That's old snag, a territorial aquatic cryptid found in the dark. It almost sounds like the water panther, doesn't it? Let's see. We built our home ourselves in 2003, but there used to be an old house where we built the new one. Part of the foundation is the cellar area of our basement. How about that?
Ron,
I
it sounds
think,
like you need to send her your contact info.
yeah, I think we need to send some info. I think Brandon is showing us subliminal images in those flashes, like Tyler Durden showing porn in the Disney films. Check out Cigar Shaped Craft, folks, said Brandon.
I think my camera sees
Oh,
upgraded.
man. That's funny. We thought we were looking at Venus, except it turned out to be parked over a neighbor's house. Yeah, that'll do it. Venus don't typically do that.
I mean, you could tell if it's a plant or not because it's going to be really far away.
I saw a woman in white driving into work during the COVID shutdown. Wow. Didn't even register it till I was half a mile away.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about my hitchhiker story. So I was driving down some. Well, I was actually a passenger driving down some back roads. I think it was in Mingo County, around like 2013, 2014. And I remember it was in the summertime, and I saw this person.
Wait. I have to interrupt you just for a second. I'm a sick geek. That's all there is to that. Tom's arrow is correct. Oh, man, that's sad. All right.
Impeccable.
It's sad is what it is. Sad. Anyway, go
so
ahead.
it was summertime, and I saw this person wearing like what looked like a heavy winter coat walking on the side of the road, and they had like longish hair. And I was like, why is that person dressed like that? And I turned around as we drove past them, looked back, and there was nobody there. I remember their coat was like had like yellow and red on it, like something from the 90s.
Wow.
Like that patchwork.
Yeah.
Different collars that used to be on clothes back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just gone. And there was nowhere for them to go because I think there was a drop off the road right beside of that.
Oh, my.
It's like they would have had to like jump off that cliff basically to be hiding.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got chills after I saw that.
Well, I'm sure. Anita said, fear is energy and energy is useful. Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's why we think that some of these paranormal phenomena occur in these areas where tremendous amounts of, energy, emotion, it's stored there, right? So who knows? Breaking through even time barriers for all we know. In 2005, my 13-year-old got a Ouija board for her birthday from a friend. Whoa, that's bad. At her birthday sleepover, they played the board. They swear to this day that something came through that board. Yeah, maybe.
I would say so.
Maybe so, yeah. We have a mockingbird that mimics a car alarm. Yeah, I've got one around here that mimics somebody's phone. I heard it the other day. It was really pretty funny.
Yeah, we have one that mimics a cat perfectly, and it comes in our backyard meowing all the time.
Oh, no. It's Brandon was saying you should make the Bigfoot. That would be really cool.
We went to Kanawha State Forest a few weeks ago, and someone that lives on that stretch right before you get to the entrance has like a 6-foot tall Bigfoot in their front yard up on the hill, and they actually painted it brown. And when I drove past it, I actually did a double take.
I saw that.
It's a statue.
Yeah, I saw that. The only thing should have been there was a stray cow. I knew what I was looking at before. My mind kept telling what it wasn't. To this day, when I think about it, though, first thought, I laugh. Cows don't do that. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Experiencers understand that. Anita, that's what inspires my monsters. I make up the stories. I love fishing and caught many snags. That's awesome. I love that.
Have you ever heard stories where people swear that their pets talk to them?
I have a pet that talks to me.
I mean, like in English, it'll talk to you.
Wow. She doesn't really know she's speaking English, but
I don't know what to make of those. Like, is that them like having some sort of weird hallucination, or is that something messing with their mind?
Well, you never know, man. I mean, you really never know. It's it's intelligence, so it's kind of we don't know as far as perception goes, even how it works or projection of perceptions, things like that. It's kind of like with the whole Bigfoot thing, the people
One
who hear
story
it
that I heard
speaking.
that gave me chills. This guy said that when he was a teenager, he lived in the second story of his house, and in the middle of the night one night, he woke up and heard someone talking downstairs. And he looked down the bottom of the stairs, and he saw his Labrador Retriever standing on its back legs like a person. It turned around and looked at him, got on all fours, and just sat there and stared at him.
That's a not lab.
Yeah.
I had to do it. I had to. Anita, I saw a woman in a 50s style outfit walking down the street when it was raining. She wasn't getting wet. I stopped to check on her and she was gone. I've heard one like that before too. That's common, very common. The one I saw was walking through a park in a paper thin dress, super cold and dark. Then she was just gone. Flat area too, so I would have seen it. Wow. Yeah. The only female apparition I've ever seen is the one that was at the old card store where I worked. And man, that place was a hoot. It really was. There was stuff being thrown off shelves. There was invisible people helping customers. It was just an amazing place. But one morning I opened and you had these big display cases, and those display cases were off to my right, they're off to my left. I'm sorry, off to my left. And as I'm standing there opening, I look over, and the reflection, I see this woman standing there in a white dress and blonde, really pretty. And she was, I don't know, she's probably in her 20s, I'd say 25, something like that. And I looked back, I just looked over, I saw her, and I was counting the money. I looked back down at the money. It's like, wait a minute. And I looked back over, and she's gone. And no, it wasn't a reflection because there was nobody. The store was closed. The doors were closed. The big gate was closed. Nobody was walking around. It was just a ghost town because it was really early in the morning. And the lights weren't on. It was just that little, it was just a little light off to my side that was causing a reflection. And
whenever ghosts are, one thing I can say,
that.
almost certain from a lot of research that I've read, is that ghosts are not physically standing there. They're being projected in your mind and make you think that they are. Whether that's a spiritual thing or whether that's like some technological thing.
Right.
You'll have like a whole group of people, and they'll all witness completely different things with ghosts.
Sometimes.
Some won't even see anything at all, but
That's
one
right.
person will.
That's right. Sometimes you have that. And you'll get that a lot with the UFOs too. It's the same kind of reaction, which makes you wonder about things, doesn't it? Nita. Okay, message me details for the Bigfoot sculpture and we'll work it out. She's all about it, Brandon. There you go, buddy.
Glad to inspire some artwork.
Inspire some artwork, brother. I think if you make it, honestly, you would have no trouble moving that.
No.
That would be an instant sell, is what I think. Oh, great, guys. I'm out with the dog and I hear something knocking. I blame you all. Oh, great. You're out with the dog? Okay, help us conduct an experiment. I want you to be, not bait. That's a bad word. Maybe try an experiment, though. Open yourself up and think, I'm here. If you have anything to say, I'm listening. Just do that. Just think that really, really hard right now, okay? I want to see what happens. That's all you have to do.
Once for no.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. I'm listening. Just let it know you're listening. Just, hey, yeah, I'm out here. If you're there, I'm listening. Don't even say anything about, talk to me. Just say, I'm listening. My pet Ovnik talks to me. Oh, you're funny. You're ha ha ha. Yeah, Ovniks don't talk, though. They make weird noises. What card store? That was at Carlton Cards. American Greetings took it over, and now it is, of course, gone. And because the mall is desolate at this point, it has been turned into, I don't even know what they've turned it into. They boarded it.
Stop and like one restaurant.
Dude, they've got boards on every window in that place at this point.
I walked through there last time AEW came through, and there was like
yeah, it's gone. Okay, animals can communicate, but you got to be receptive too. Thought some can learn to mimic human speech. My cat Prowler could say a few words. His mom Starlight was very vocal and would freak strangers out by talking. My cat freaked out the vet once. I think he said no. It's about as human sounding as when huskies talk. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, they can mimic. Yeah. Mom had ghosts on the West Virginia Turnpike. Really? Because I've
Some
heard
parts
of
of that turnpike actually used to be a horse and buggy road.
Oh,
And
dude,
it's
some
been
parts
in
of
use
that.
since the 1700s or something.
Yes, native trails. There were, there were mounds all along through there. There was all kinds of stuff. So it doesn't surprise me a bit. And it's, Robin brings up a good point. What do you think ghosts are? Demons? No, I don't. I absolutely don't.
Unless they display some sort of malevolence.
I don't think that ghosts are demons. And that's that's a very good question, Robin, because a lot of people that we hear from, they watch a lot of TV. They see a lot of movies and they automatically jump to something, it's negative. So it's got to be a demon. But that's not how a demon works. They're a completely different thing. And a ghost is just not that. A ghost is pretty much a very benevolent thing. It can be a transient energy, anything from just a noise like a poltergeist, RSPK. We don't know what that is. That could be just recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. You could be causing that. Your daughters could be causing that. Something to that nature. That happens. But ghost is a funny word, and we actually did a really good episode on ghosts back with Dave Roberts a couple of years ago. It may just be on audio. I'm not sure I don't think it's on video. It might be on video, but I know it's on audio. And we went through the history of the actual word, and pretty much you're going to get your residuals. You're going to get your intelligences. Some of the intelligence ones are those are the ones that people kind of lump in and say, oh, it's a demon. Why do you think that? Because it knows your name? No, that doesn't mean it's a demon. I mean, we don't even know what that is. We don't know what a ghost is. That's my key line. I mean, could it be? Sure. But we could also...
ancient languages, the word spirit has a huge definition. Like when they were translating the Bible, the Hebrew word for spirit, they couldn't figure out how it was being used. So some people, sometimes it was mistranslated as ghost instead of spirit. That's where you get Holy Ghost instead of Holy Spirit in some translations.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Some of the ancient people didn't really know how to define it either.
Yeah.
So they pretty much said anything paranormal was a spirit of some kind.
Yeah. Anita, some of us freaks of nature see more colors and frequencies than others. Tetrachromate. Yes, they do. And, that's a good point you just brought up there, Anita. You're only seeing, this is important when you guys are out there in the woods, you're doing your things. I don't see Spooky. Spooky hasn't chimed back in. Spooky, you okay out there?
He did.
Where?
Like a few messages.
Oh, okay. I see it now. Wow, the woods got dead silent. Hey, there you go. That's called a response. Anyway.
I was thinking the predator might be nearby.
Keep listening. So. keep listening. Keep listening out there, Spooky. Keep listening. And keep looking at the sky. Look up. Look up. Don't just look around. Look up. See if you see anything moving around out there.
Pull your phone out and start recording.
You're right. So here's the thing. We only see, our eyes, we're only capable of perceiving what, like 24 to 30 some frames per second or something like that. There's only a certain frequency range that we can even look at. There's so much stuff there that we can't see. Like so much stuff that we can't see. And just to let you know, 24, to 34 some whatever frames per second. That's really not that fast. I mean, it's fast. It's faster than you can blink, but if you have a camera, that can shoot 200, 300 and up frames per second, slow motion, and you do have one, by the way, just to let you know, your phone, your iPhone, your whatever. I guess Google's, they do that too, right? Like they all do it too. So any of your phones have slow-mo mode. And what that does is it actually has a faster shutter. So you can get those, 200 frames per second or 170 frames per second, I think is what most of them are. Now it's lower resolution, but still, either way, it slows it down. So there's a chance that you may see something that you don't actually see because you can't see it. Doesn't mean it's not there. Just means that you can't see it. I mean, I can demonstrate that very easily. Take a night vision device, point it at your phone. You're going to see you can see it right there. You see it? Can you guys see that blinking light?
Yep.
You guys see that blinking light, right? Wait a minute. Hang on. Government.
Screen up.
Thought the government got me there for a second, guys. Okay, you see the blinking light? You can't see that blinking light. I can't see that blinking light.
Well, not physically. You can't.
No, you can't see it. Like, it's not there. But when I hold it up to the camera, you can see it because the camera can see in different frequencies than your eyes. Therefore, it's there, but you can't see it. So can other things be like that? Yeah, I think they can. Absolutely. And can they be ghosts? Sure.
Imagine when our phones are capable of recording in ultraviolet.
Right.
And translating that to our eye, what we might see.
Right. I'm trying to keep
Scary.
up with everybody's. Man, you guys are really posting some stuff. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Hey, did I tell you guys what the record was for Dewey's show, by the way, on comments?
I don't think so.
I was 459 comments.
Wow.
That's going to be hard to beat, just letting you guys know. You're up against a wall in this one. It's that was a lot of comments that came in that night. Let's see. Adam. Yeah. Not bait, but be alluring like a lure. Yeah, right. Tell the dude to relax and think of nothing. Just listen when he does that. Yep. Check in, Spooky. Oh, you went in.
SpaceX is visible right now, and I can't really see it.
He went in. Okay, that's good. So the dog wanted to go in? Joe, Spooky is about to get got. No.
About to wind up on missing 411.
No. I would never have him do that and think of that. My mom and I saw the Phantom Hitchhiker on the Turnpike. So you've seen it then. I've heard about it. I thought I saw it once. I swear I thought I saw it once, but I don't know. It could have just been fog.
My in-laws live in the Buffalo, Eleanor area, and my wife's aunt said that she saw a Native American one night ride out of the woods on horseback.
Wow.
And it rode past her and looked at her and then kept going until it disappeared.
Wow. I would have probably immediately went out and sprinkled some tobacco on the ground. And
where the Toyota plant is, right across the road is that old Indian village. She said one night she left her mom's house and was driving past there and saw an Indian man walk across the road. Right there.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Robin, I saw a ghost boy standing by my bed one night. When it looked at me, it freaked me out because I felt deep into my soul it was pure evil. Okay, yeah, because that's a perception, and maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was just the way it was perceived. Who knows? Maybe it projected that into you. Maybe it wasn't a boy at all. Maybe it was something making you think it was that. We are dealing with things that can literally affect your perception. And whether that be a Bigfoot, a ghost, as we've been talking about here, or, some form of extra-dimensional or extraterrestrial being of some sort. We don't know what these things are. But we know that they seem to be exhibiting almost the same kind of abilities. Right, Brandon?
Yep.
Don't you find that weird? I find that weird. Let's see.
Oh,
Adam said
before the
if
show
you,
started, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw this video come up. It said, "My grandma is visited by this owl every day, and it hangs out with her." And I was like,
there we go. There we go. The owls. How many of you guys have seen owls? How many of you guys hear owls all the time? I mean, like, unusually all the time. That's another question. You can read her stories, Brandon, in the book you picked up. So it's in what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, Greenbrier Ghost. Great book. Great book. I actually have that book. How many of you guys have that book?
"Oh, do you want me to read the quote from Adam in that book?"
Go ahead. Yeah.
Here it is, by the way, if you don't have it.
That's Greenbrier Ghost. Or yeah, that's it, right? Greenbrier Ghost.
Okay. So it says, "Dedicated to my wife Madeline and to our 9-year-old grandson Adam Good, who threatened to yell if this ghost book wasn't done soon." See right here.
That's great. Speaking of books, real quick, I want to touch this. A lot of people, I don't know if you know or not, but Mark Randall, another artist, who's actually he likes my stuff, and I like his stuff. And we actually got to talk at the Mothman Festival. I think it was a little bit last time, but we've talked a few times before. But his style is definitely different. He has his own unique style, which I absolutely I love that people have their own styles, because everybody is pretty much stealing off of everybody today. And Mark's style is Mark's style. If you see someone doing it, you're going to say, "Oh, that looks just like Mark Randall's style." Well, anyway, Mark did a couple of books or whatnot. He's done a couple of cards, but he did this little Mothman book not too long ago, and he sent it to me in PDF. I said, "Sure, I'll look at it and give you an honest review of it, buddy." So here's the thing. It's a very, it's not a complex book. It's not one of those things that makes you, it's not full of like these serious facts and, but it's accounts and it's cases, and some of the better cases of the first Mothman sightings is what he's got in here. So it's a really cool little book, but he's taken his art and he's illustrated like all these cases, which is really cool. It's kind of like a little recreation art kind of thing. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'd say if you're a Mothman fan, you're going to want to probably add that to your collection, just for the art that's in it. And he also has some cards, I believe, that would complement that pretty well as well.
I love that cover, and it reminds me of the people who try to say that Mothman is just like a giant barred owl or something like that.
I think that's why he did it.
But hear me out. Owls.
I know, man. I know, man.
Really an owl?
I know, man. And we presented the same thing at the Mothman Festival during our presentation last year.
That just clicked in my head. Like, I feel like I've just had a revelation.
Well, there's more than that. Let's talk about Mothman for a sec, okay?
Okay.
Because we hit on this too. I was like, okay, so you had the TVs that were going wonky. Remember that? People would say the TVs were going wonky when the Mothman would show up and stuff. There'd be static on the TVs, the phones, all that. Think about your TVs, man. When a plane used to fly over back in those days, your screen would go all crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was cutting the field. It was cutting the magnetic field, the flux layer. So it was causing a disruption. It was EM. It was EM radiation. So basically, your TV was a big EMF meter, okay? Think about it. Before everything went digital, we had all those solid state circuitry, and it was picking this stuff up, either in the form of static or visual static on those old TV sets. That's when the Mothman phenomena. Yeah. So it's when the Mothman phenomenon was going on. They were actually recording these spikes in EM radiation. That's what I'm getting at. Think about that for a second. Because no one really had considered that. I mean, that's just like, fits the bill. It fits what we have recorded at some of these sites. It fits what's going on at Skinwalker Ranch. I know everybody thinks, oh, it's just a show. But, okay, if that's a show, that's wonderful. But the data that they've got, either they've got some incredible people in the know who are trying to make everybody else know things that they don't, because it's been validated. We validated a lot of this stuff before it ever even showed up on that show. And to see it is just like, wow, that's special. And you can validate it yourself. Just go out, grab some EM meters, grab some FLIRs, and go out and point it at the sky. And take notes. Take lots of notes, because you're gonna scare yourself.
Yeah, the one thing I want to bring up to people who say it was a giant owl.
Yes.
I've never heard of an instance where an owl was terrorizing multiple people across, like, how long was it? Like 2 months the sightings happened or something?
What? You talking about Mothman?
The original sightings, yeah.
Oh, no, a year.
Yeah,
those
I've never
sightings
heard
lasted
of
a
an
whole year.
owl that was terrorizing people for that long. Maybe once.
No.
I've had an owl chase me before when I worked security, but that's the only time I can think of where that happened. Must have been near a nest or something. I don't know, but it was chasing my truck.
Joe said reports are going to file in because of the SpaceX was seen tonight.
Probably.
So he's right. He's right. Anytime it's clear and SpaceX flies over, it's going to cause issues because it's so far out now. They pushed it out, and it looks like this straight line of big craft of some sort. Let's see. Trying to keep up, guys. James said it was cloudy out his way, so no SpaceX for you. And Spooky may have seen SpaceX just now. Did see something kind of orange. Well, Bud, SpaceX isn't orange. So there's that.
Yep.
I don't think it's orange.
Mars appears a little orange in the sky. So.
Are we talking about... Wait, are we talking about a SpaceX launch, or are we talking about the Starlink satellites?
Starlink, I think.
Okay. Well, SpaceX could be orange because if it was launched, but we couldn't see that from here, I don't think, anyway.
I don't think so.
No. But yeah, Starlink's definitely not orange, but they're bright white, and there's a whole line of them usually. And you are out there opening yourself up to stuff, so there's that.
Poke the bear, Bud.
Yep. You tickled that bear.
Oh, speaking of Travis, I saw that he was actually at the last Ancient Aliens meeting.
Yes, he was.
Live show.
Mm-hmm. He was. He joined them for the Ancient Aliens live. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. James Boggs, I heard a Bigfoot whistle like a steam kettle out behind my place. Dog shoved itself under the bed.
Talk about too often. Too.
That's cool, James. Let's talk about that for real.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the whistles, guys. A lot of people hear, Bigfoot. They hear that whistle. I'll be honest with you. I've been in the woods and I've heard that weird whistle, but I don't know what it was. It sounds really big. It doesn't sound like a bird at all.
People say, I heard an 800-pound owl. Have you ever ran into an 800-pound owl? How do you know what that would even sound like?
Yeah. Well, that whistle in particular is very different. It's very high-pitched, but it's got this timbre to it. It's got this... you can not really feel it, but it's not just a whistle. Is what I'm trying to get at. It's not just as high pitched.
Some have to have really powerful lungs.
It would have to have very powerful, lungs or a mid-range device of some sort to get it out there. Let's see.
Did you ever see that Finding Bigfoot episode when Cliff took his bass guitar out in the woods and he actually got wood knocks back from it?
No, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Fishbelly said, if you read up on how the mind works, defining really gets tricky. Yes, it does.
One thing I always bring up to people is medically, there is no definition of what pain is.
Yeah.
Pain is described differently about every single person on
Yeah.
Earth. And the severity of pain is also measured differently by every person on Earth.
Yeah, I can see that. Spooky. I hear owls all the time, but I live in the woods. Yeah, it don't count. No, it does. It kind of does. It just depends on where the owls are at.
It also depends on what they do. Like if you just like see owls, probably not. But if they come and like stare in your windows all the time,
Yeah, that's
or
different.
always on your porch, or
Yeah.
every time you go outside you see one.
That's a little different. That's a little different. I never see owls in the woods. I hear them at my brother's sometimes. Okay. Hear owls virtually every night. Even seen the big hoot back in '77. There's your one, James Boggs. Saw the big owl. The big owl. Want to describe it, James? Adam sure did. Someone with a vanity license plate had just owls on it. This happened this week. Let me tell you a little story about the owl thing.
That's interesting.
Let me tell you a story about the owl thing. So I don't remember how I learned about McClelland's work with the messengers. I really don't remember how I learned about it at all. It was probably just one of those things where I was scrolling through and saw this thing and said, hey, that sounds familiar. Owls, aliens. Watched it and was just like, holy crap. Because it makes you really think when you read some of those, or you hear some of those stories. You know, are they owls? Are they something else? But more importantly, his whole thing is they're the messengers, right? And if you listen to his story, you know that there's all these synchronicities, and the synchronicities are always triggered by those owls. That's, you know, it's a message. And the funny thing is, I was thinking about owls. I was thinking about that one day, and we had went somewhere. I don't know. Well, I think we're going antiquing. We're going to antique shops. Well, I can't tell you how many owls I saw that day. I started taking pictures of them just to document it because it got ridiculous. But I'll bet you that I saw over 20 to 25 owls, from paintings to statues to you name it. There was owls everywhere. And it was just the craziest thing. The more I saw, the more there were. And that went on for probably about 2 weeks. And then they were gone. The next time we went, there was no owls in the store. Like, there was a couple, but there wasn't anything like that. And I've never had an incident like that since.
I've heard stories
It was
from
cool.
people who were into the occult, and there's some bad figures within the occult beliefs. They're associated with owls. Like I think Lilith might be associated with owls. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about that, but
Well, the owl's usually seen as, you know, a harbinger of death and all so forth. You know, that's why the Shawnee loved them, because they were great psychological warfare.
if you read the second Messenger's book, the one that's actually witness accounts,
Yeah.
there are people who see owls and then they get messages in their head like
Right.
it's talking to them.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely not an owl.
Let's see. I didn't get to hear your talk at Mothman Festival last year. Yeah, I know, right? You were manning the booth, brother.
Are you guys going to try to record that this year?
Oh, you don't. You only get to do it every couple of years, so we won't be speaking there. Our next speaking engagement will be with Phil, I think, and I'll be speaking up north.
When is that?
You asked me too soon. I have to check for you.
Yeah, 'cause I could
Robinson's.
request it off if you guys want me to go and manage your equipment for you.
Well, that'd be neat. My dad, Emil Varney, was a photographer with WSAZ at the time the Silver Bridge collapsed. He filmed a lot of the collapse that is featured in the Mothman Festival that they showed to the public. Wow. Wow.
You know, like the part that gets me is when you see the Christmas gifts floating in the river.
Yeah. Well,
That
the
gets me every
lights.
time.
The lights under the water. That's crazy. Whoop. To be clear, Bigfoot is just a very large owl, 3.5 to 4 foot.
So in the second messenger's book, there's people who report seeing owls that are like 4 to 6 feet tall.
Yep.
That are doing all this weird stuff. It's
Are they
like
really?
it's like they don't get the
Right.
projection correct.
Right, they'll get the projection correct. That's exactly right. So, are they real owls? That's the question. I'm going to get you guys some links because this will be next week's podcast, and we're going to go pretty deep into it. So we'll send you some stuff, and you guys can, we'll talk a little bit about it probably in the live next week, depending on what we're doing, and go back over it a little bit. And if you have any questions, we'll go back over that.
I think I'm
maybe
gonna save my hot take on Mothman for that episode.
maybe it'll trigger some thoughts, but it'll wake you up at 3 a.m. I can tell you that. Yeah, I've been in the woods with those monster real owls. What'd you say? If they stare in your window, that's the Goblin King.
Still your baby.
Yeah. Looked like a great horned owl. He had a chicken coop made out of 2 double bed springs with a tarp over them, kind of like a
Oh
triangle.
my God! I just got the connection too to Harry Potter with owls. Remember, they would always deliver the messages.
Messengers, yeah. You
Oh
didn't
my
get
God.
that? Yeah, dude.
Oh, I just got it.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. The chickens were disappearing, so we watched to see what was getting them. The owl was taller than a double bed spring laid on its side. Wow.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is a big one. June 10th is when Withville is. I knew Joe would chime in with that.
I'm trying to think if I'm on vacation.
I might be in Withville. There you go. Unless you're ashamed of me. Oh, that's priceless. You guys are funny. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I know we were talking about Bigfoot and we ended up on owls. It's just how the show rolls. It's just how it goes. If that bothers you, then it's probably not your show.
I think it started when we were talking about Bigfoot being connected to aliens.
I don't care.
and
I like it.
rolled
I think that's how the show works. It's always been a really open forum thing. We've always wanted to do that. That's what the lives are for, and I really love it. And I love how everybody out there gets to ask their questions and they put their comments in, and it just drives the whole show. That's great. I don't know too many that do that, and I'm really happy that that's the format that our show takes. Because it's your show, guys. It's your show. So, yeah, if there's anything you want to hear us cover, by the way, just let us know, and we'll do it. I can tell you there's a couple of shows that will be coming up. We've got, I'll have Ron Murphy on at some point. He's going to be talking about his new book, which should be out very, 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 very shortly. So we're going to have him on. He's got some fascinating info on fairy lore and orbs and so forth and so on that you'll love.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great because one of our higher ranking shows back in the day was the orbs episode, and it's still a really good episode. But right now, I think the highest ranking show is what is it? The Underground Bases or something? I think it's either that or it's the multiverse one. The Mandela Effect.
The multiverse.
Yeah, the Mandela Effect one. Which there's going to be another Mandela Effect. Mandela Effect 2 is coming up. What else is coming up? I can't think. There's a bunch of stuff. Of course, we'll have the show wrap-ups where we're out there on the road and we come back in and, give you guys the rundown on what happened there. You'll be getting your first one of those probably Thursday because we'll be talking a little bit about OBC. We'll probably talk a little bit about that before the actual podcast too, but you'll get this before that. That's how time travel works.
Now, I will be at Woodbooker because I've already got that scheduled off.
That's good. How many other people are going to be at Woodbooker? Because that's going to be a blast, just to let you know. May 20th, before you ask. May 20th, and it's free to attend. And there's going to be all kinds of fun stuff there. We're going to have food trucks, I guess. We're going to have some vendors, lots of vendors there for people. And hopefully we're inviting people to bring their own, instruments because they did before. So just bring your instruments and sit down and play. It's a big area. It's fun. have a
Park's
party
pretty
out
big,
there in
yeah.
the park. Yeah. It's Wood Bugger Jamboree, and that's May 20th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at John Slack Park in Racine, West Virginia. There's a vendor fair. There's a Bigfoot Q&A that's going to be happening. We're going to bring some of our data, some of our so-called evidence. I call it data, maybe evidence. And
There's
let you
also a
guys
river right
take a look at
nearby,
it.
so you can go fishing if you want.
Yep. There's a river right there. It's a whole day, man. You just come and hang out and have fun. That's what it's all about. Oh, thank you, Robin. Thank you. I love all the different things you talked about. Yeah, we have this tendency to go down these different rabbit holes and wild tangents, but it works really well for us.
We've done Mothman for a hot minute now.
Yeah, Mothman, right? Well, it's hard to have a show in West Virginia and not talk about Mothman. Let's be real. What? Can I bring my instruments, but I can't play them unless you want everyone to leave? I can bring my instruments.
It's like every paranormal book about West Virginia. It's got at least a mention of Mothman in it. At least
Dude, you're not going to have... you can't do West Virginia without Mothman. That's just how it is. Yeah, Pat, I'm going to bring this. I'm going to play it for everybody. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring the automaton and play it. This little guy. You'll hear him every now and again on some of the episodes that I've done before. So, yeah, but fun, super fun. Yep, it's a fun one. I don't know, but anyway.
Hey, do you want to pull the Ovilus out?
Oh, the Ovilus. I don't know. Does people want to do an Ovilus session tonight? If you do, I'll do it. If you're not, then nah. You guys decide. Let me know. I'll try to find a chord just in case you say yes.
Well, we can ask it about
don't
Robin's
see
situation and see what the Ovilus has to say.
About the what?
Robin and her ghost in her house.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh. That's weird.
$5 says it mentions Legion.
Well, that's fun, man. It always does. Well, I don't see the connector for it, so we might not get an Ovilus. Hang on. Maybe. I see something here. This might work. Well, I got the 1 vote for Ovilus out there. I got 2 votes for Ovilus out there. I got 3 votes for Ovilus out there. Keep them coming, guys. You want to do it, we're going to do it.
We can also ask it if Spooky actually encounters something out there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
If you guys have any questions that you want us to ask, just drop them in the chat.
Let me make sure it works. James Boggs votes for Ovilus. Hit that heart. Hit that like. I want to see hearts up here. I got 1 heart up here. See that? There's a 1 heart up there. It's right up there. See it right up there? There's a heart. I don't know how it got there, but I want to see more than 1. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you guys. I believe in you.
Who killed Kennedy?
What? James.
James wants us to ask who.
James, are you for real? Do you want to get this show shut down? We already know that the men in black are listening. Agent John Stone is a very good friend of mine now. We send Christmas cards to each other.
And then he wipes your memory and you forget about it.
Who?
Are you an owl now? No. And the JFK assassination would be like a 4 or 5 part episode easily.
It's their fault.
So much to that.
Anyway. What do we got? Oh, check it out, guys. I'll let you see something real quick. Uh-oh. What is this? I don't know what that is. It's trying to make me turn something on. No, stop. Anyway, check it out. It's a little elongated skull. You like it?
Oh, I thought it was a chicken nugget for a second.
It's not a chicken nugget. You can't eat it. It's a little elongated skull.
I guess I'm just hungry. Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Ah, there he is. Ta-da!
That would be cool to have in necklace form.
Wouldn't it?
I would totally wear one.
Sold. Anybody else want one? No. Only $14.99. $14.99 tonight, folks. It'll include an actual paint job, a little eyelet, and a leather cord. $14.99. Going once. Brandon, you already got it. Sorry.
Folks, we are not too good to resort to grifting, so...
Well, somehow you got to pay for these shows. Come on.
Exactly.
You think it's stuff's free? It's not free. Speaking of which, guys, before I fire all this up, do please be aware that if you do want to support the show, you can go over to our website at, what is our website? Hang on. It's right here. It's www.wildandweirdwv.com, but where's it at? Because I don't see it. It looks like that guy must have came in here and cleared everything out because it's not here anymore.
What guy?
That agent guy. I don't know. Anyway, there it is. wildandweirdwv.com shops. You go over there. That's going to open up our shop, obviously. And instead of having to deal with anyone, third party, Etsy, that takes, pieces of our money that, we earn away from us for not much of anything. This goes straight to us and supporting the show. And that's what you want to do. So we could definitely use that anytime you want to do it. I think we have some stuff over there right now. We have a couple patches and they are in queue. I think there's only like 5 left, maybe something like that. So if you want those, go over there and grab them fast because once they're sold out, they sold out. We'll get some more for later, but right now they sold out if they sell out. And Adam Good actually, bing. Adam, are you wanting do you want a elongated skull necklace? Is that what you're saying? Because if you do, I'll get one made up for you next week, if that's what you're saying. It's like $15. It's yours. Free shipping. You just let me know. And then once again, Adam will be a sponsor for the show for another month. Well, he's showing everybody up, man. I love it. Anyway, let's fire up the Ovilus, right?
Ovilus on.
Wait, we got to do this the right way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will be on vacation when Whitfield happens, unfortunately.
Well, you are a terrible person.
Ovilus on.
And it never gets old.
Never gets old. Never gets old. All right. Okay. Now we can start. Oh, man. We have too much fun around here. We have way too much fun around here. So who's got the first question?
Let's see.
Oh, and Adam said, yes, I will take the skull. All right, brother. It's back. I'll get it fixed up for you this week, and we'll get it out to you. Now, it is
I'll be in our store next week as well.
Did you say an owl would be in our store next week? What?
Yeah.
I think you said something about an owl.
Who?
I don't know. That was weird.
Doctor Who.
Who? Okay. Let's get our
So
question.
Spooky,
out.
the first question was Spooky. He wants you to ask what was in the woods.
What was in the woods? Yes, that is a brilliant question to ask. Let's find out what was in the woods. So, Ovilus, let us know what was in the woods, and we're going to use the skull too. Just, we're going to do it right, I guess.
Amp
if we're
it
going
up.
to do it. Yeah, amp it up, man. Amp it up. Let's use the skull.
Turn it up to 11.
We're cranking this thing, man. Cranking it up. All right. We're waiting. Now we wait.
Lower.
It said lower.
Oh, you got amped up too high, is what it's saying.
Yeah, we got amped up too high. So let's take the skull down. Yes. All of us don't like the skull. All right. We got to dial it down a notch. Been given the orders. The extra dimensionals don't want that. So yeah, what was in the woods? What was in the woods? That's what Adam's asking. So let's see if we can figure out what was in the woods tonight, Ovilus. The chat is deaf now. Yeah, I know. Bad Ovilus.
Let's also ask it, what is haunting Robin's home?
Yeah, we'll do that too. But let's get this one first. Let's get this one first because it's gonna get weird in here. We're gonna let it get weird in here. You guys are okay with that, right? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. And pop this. Sensitivity is high. Okay. Okay.
Ovilus.
Okay, there we go. That looks good. All right, we're ready.
Wand.
Say want?
Won't.
Because.
It won't because
below.
below. It won't because below.
Index.
Index. Whoa, it's getting chatty tonight. That doesn't help us any. So, I mean, I don't know.
Baby.
Baby. Okay, there's a baby.
Won't because below index baby.
Create.
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 Okay.
Stretched.
Stretched. Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like whatever's in the woods, Spooky, is going to torture you.
It does sound like that. It absolutely sounds.
would stay
Business.
far away.
East. 8.
Good Lord.
God, it's firing them off.
What the heck's going on?
English.
English.
It's asking you if you know how to speak English, Ron.
So I'm going to read back the word.
Track.
I'm going to read back the words that we have so far. Word won't because
Yard.
below index baby create stretched business. East 8. I've never seen that before. 8 and then English.
Like 8 as in you ate something, or number 8?
Number 8. That's weird.
Capital E.
It's a capital E. I don't know what that means. If that means anything to anyone out there, by all means, let me know. Because the Ovilus has lost its mind tonight, apparently, is what I'm hearing.
This is the chattiest it's ever been.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, next question while this thing's
Raise.
rolling. Yeah, raise your hand. That's what it just said. Raise your hand. Next question. Who do we have? Oh, what was in the home? Yeah, what was in Robin's home? There you go. What we got in Robin's home? What we got out there?
Lake.
We got a lake. Robin's there a lake?
Orb.
Is there a... Oh, my God.
Did it say Borg?
Nope, it said warp.
Oh.
Warp. W-A-R-P. So apparently there's a lake near your house with
Rocket.
with a warp, and there's a rocket. I don't know what that means. But if that means something to you, I think it's tapped into Travis is what I think. I think they're talking about Skinwalker Ranch right now.
Winds.
Yeah, we got rockets, we got winds, we got warps. That's totally...
Sounds like AI trying to write a sci-fi story.
Right? I don't know what it's doing.
Interrupt. Ovilus.
What?
Did it just say its own name?
Developed.
It's become self-aware.
The Ovilus has become self-aware, everyone. We don't have much time left now. This is great.
Reveal.
It's going to reveal itself, apparently. So, I'm not making it up. It just said reveal after we said self-aware.
Spring.
Spring.
This spring, it's coming this spring.
Okay, so we got a couple of days left. Right?
Sounds like it.
I think so. Hey, we got Shannon Edwards in here. Look at that. Shannon Edwards in the house, y'all. We are, if for those who just tuned in, we're doing a session of Ask Ovilus right now, and Ovilus has lost its mind. Apparently, it just stopped talking. It's been going crazy, like crazy.
That's the longest it's been quiet tonight.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyway, Robin says there is a lake out back.
There's a lake out back in our field when it rains hard. So basically, it sounds like it makes a like a vernal pool kind of situation.
Well, the natives connect water with spiritual energy.
Yes, Facebook user, you can ask questions. Absolutely, ask questions.
Yep, fire away.
Nickel. Apparently, you'll get a nickel for every question. Cost a nickel for every question. I didn't make the rules. I think the Ovilus is trying to scam us all now.
Poem.
It will cost $3.50.
Poem. Scene.
Did it say Poland?
Poem. Yeah, poem.
August.
Making predictions now.
I'll write a poem in August.
I guess.
Speak.
What? You are speak. Yes, speak. Speak your question.
A poem right now.
Speak your question, Facebook user. The Ovilus has spoken.
Stirred.
Shannon wants you to ask what it sold today. What she sold today.
What she sold today.
What they sold today.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Recuse.
Okay. What they sold today? Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So
70.
Okay. Ovilus, what did they sell today? 70. Does 70 mean anything to anyone?
Maybe Shannon sold 70 of something.
Full.
Full. F-U-L-L. Full. Facebook user says it's Mona Perkins. Will allergies start to clear soon? No. I'll answer that one for you right now. It's been terrible. Ever since I got back from Richwood, it has been absolutely miserable.
Oh,
yeah. Away.
See? Even the Ovilus knows we were away.
7.
There's 7. 77. That's a sacred number, right, guys? That's like numerology episode.
Been firing numbers off tonight.
Yeah. Let's play the lottery. Ask it when AI will kill us all. Do you really want to know that?
These.
I don't know what that means either. I sold 7 vending machines, Shannon Edwards.
Oh. Huh.
You're kidding me, right?
Poverty.
Well, I guess you don't have to worry about that
Bye,
part.
guys.
I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not. It says 7, and now it says poverty. Where is Puppy Dude? No, I'm not asking that. Disregard that question, Ovilus.
Yeah, don't read them out loud, Ron.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Let's see.
And now it's gotten quiet again. Not kidding. Check that out, dude. Synchronicity? You tell me. Tell me what's going on. I want to know.
Pop.
Like what? What's that mean? Pop.
Adam wants you to ask what will happen in the 2060s.
Oh.
Bones.
Okay. Bones. There'll be bones. Lots of bones after the asteroid hits Adam.
After we annihilate ourselves with nuclear weapons.
Oh, no.
Test.
No, that's just a test. Shannon, I know what you're trying to get me to say. I'm not going to say that word.
Engine.
Adam, you quit too.
Abyss.
Test engine
Abyss.
Abyss. Yeah. Ask it what I have been doing today. Okay. We have a Facebook user who wants to know what they've been doing today. Apparently you are being challenged, Ovilus. So, by all means, what has the Facebook user been doing today?
Million.
Million. Facebook user. Are you playing? Are you like playing?
Dirty.
You're a dirty banker. Gotcha.
Ask it why my camera keeps glitching.
Laundering money, apparently, is what the Facebook user has been doing. I don't know. Wow. I got to say, this is probably the most, what is my dog's name? That's a good one, Shannon. Yes. That's good. What
Evolution.
Your dog's name is not Evolution. I'm pretty sure. But what a great name that would be for a dog. Could you imagine going out and screaming Evolution at the top of your lungs? Your
A lot of
neighbors.
people do hate that dog.
Period. Facebook user, nope, but I was trying to make millions. Yes. Where's the Flatwoods Monster today? Hey, there you go. Where's the Flatwoods Monster today, Ovilus? That's a good question. Hey, guys, while the Ovilus is thinking about that, I want to remind you, actually, I don't want to remind you of anything. I want to thank you. We are like right on the doorstep to Noah. Apparently, yeah, that's Noah. N-O-A-H.
Did you see what Robin said a few messages up?
No, where are we at?
I think we found out why her house is so haunted.
What is that? As were the dead newborns. What? On my farm. 75 years ago, previous owners buried many stillborn babies. It makes me sad. The babies were never remembered or acknowledged by anyone. Oh my God. Dewey, are you still here?
That is a breeding ground for spiritual activity.
Are you getting
and
this?
I bet they're buried probably in the basement if you have a basement.
Shannon, make sure Dewey sees that. That's incredible. I could not even imagine the energy that would be in an area like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wait.
Okay, we're waiting.
Okay.
Pat, my my cousin's neighbor named her puppy Doom so she could yell it when it ran away.
Sing the Doom song.
And Adam said 2060 is when we're supposed to have an evolution event for humanity. Yep. Evolution. And didn't it say evolution? It did say evolution, didn't it? Oh,
maybe it's got a bit of a delay when it answers something.
Shannon, why won't you say it? Did you not hear the story, Shannon, about the old DM and me? Well, here's why. I have this weird habit of seeing things and experiencing things. And I'm not really sure why that is, but the story is that we were out in the woods, me and my wife, we were hiking, and we were on a bridge.
Rise,
everyone. And we were on a little bridge, footpath bridge 8. Yeah, I think Pat's got it right. I think I summoned things by accident. But we were on this little footpath type bridge, Fame. And I can, I'm walking in front and she's behind me. And I'm talking about Jesse and Joe at the time. Because at the time, they had just got some of the really good footage down there. And we were talking about, him by name. And all of a sudden, I don't hear any footsteps anymore on that bridge. I turn around and I look, and my wife's back there just kind of doing these numbers, down this little valley area. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, nothing. Never mind. It was nothing. And
Visit.
starts to walk. Visit. Yeah, that's what happened right there. Visit. And
Minutes.
yeah, minutes. And so what happens is I'm like, oh no, we don't do that.
Ascend.
What did you see? And she describes it, and she said it was basically it looked like it had fur, and it looked like a dog. It looked,
Cloister.
for best of words. Actually, she said a wolf. It looked kind of like a wolf. And I was like, okay, well, we're out of here. So we got out, and on the way home, we were talking about it. It's like, we're not going to say that name anymore.
Metaphysics.
Because of that.
What?
Right there. Because of that. Right there. That's why we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Man, I
That's
didn't even know that was in the
family.
dictionary.
Metaphysics, family. That's right. Because my metaphysical family said don't talk about it anymore. So I'm not going to.
Design.
That was
Design.
designed
Funny.
on.
Bunny. Design bunny. Okay. Yep. So anyway, that is the story as to why I don't say the puppy dude's name. And, I don't even know that that's what it is.
Bridge.
But I don't think we have to know what it is. Yeah, a bridge. That's where it happened on. Happened on a bridge. But I don't think we have to really say its name. I think it's more of an intent thing. I think it's just to think about it. You know what I mean? So what was happening, if you really think about what I was doing out there, is I'm out in the woods, and I'm talking about this. We're talking about this thing that's going on, the research, blah, blah, that they're doing. And at that time, if you think about that in a metaphysical way, was I manifesting that? I don't know. I really don't know. But there's some weird stuff, definitely some weird stuff. And it cannot just be, written off, I don't think, anyway, because there's just too many coincidences at that point. What you got there? Puppy dude is a portal user confirmed. Maybe, absolutely. I mean, that's what they said at Skinwalker Ranch, right, Brandon? Isn't that one of the stories that they saw the portal thing open up and the dog thing walk through or something? I mean,
I think that was what happened when Bigelow's people.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. That was one of the legends anyway. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, I'm not really sure what's out there, and this was the same area that we had got this weird radiation readings.
Manifest.
You heard it. I didn't say it. You heard it right there.
Muse.
Man.
Manifest.
And it is
So-
hot tonight.
Yeah, it's hot tonight. I'm getting a little warm, getting a little cold chills. How about you
Talk
guys?
about like the Ovilus is being
Add.
hot tonight.
Oh, I like that. Ask it, will we meet aliens soon?
Ask it how.
How we will meet aliens? Yeah, I think that's probably the better question. How will we meet aliens? In what context shall we meet them? In what context shall we?
Worm.
Apparently, there'll be worms, guys. Worms.
Wormhole, maybe?
Worm. Just said worm. If that thing says wormhole, no more Ovilus. Said it was a large, dark, humanoid type creature. Thanks, James. That's
Current.
it. That's right. Because they said it came out and went back in, if I remember right, or something. It's been a long time since I heard that story. And I know I don't have the book. I need the book. Everyone told me to get the book. And for whatever reason, I'm one of those people who like that. Hey, what should I do? And someone tells me what to do. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And I don't do it. And I'm like, later on, I'm like, hey, maybe I should have read that book, a year later. If I read this book a year ago, I think that I would have had a little bit more respect for what was out there.
What did it say?
Pout. Yeah. Let's see. Bigfoot, Littlefoot's in the house. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Anybody else have more questions for Ovilus?
Yeah, let's do one more run on Ovilus. That's been a real
Glove.
glove. Okay, that don't mean anything to me. Anybody else? No.
House.
House. Ask the Ovilus where the spice is.
Nose.
Nose. There you go. So apparently, yeah, we're batting 100 tonight, guys.
Fast.
Fast? I don't know what that means. Is that bookmark sticking out enough? It goes all the way through, and it was the only thing I had at the time
Under.
to mark it. It's literally not a bookmark. It's a I think this is what I used when I made the sticker for the reactor on the Wild Wind Radio. I just grabbed it.
Listen, bookworms will use
stuck it in
anything
there.
as a bookmark. I have
Oh,
used
gosh,
shoelaces
yeah.
before, old debit cards,
Yeah,
Magic the Gathering cards.
dude, I've had books that had like so many of those in them just stuck out. It looked ridiculous. And I'm like, I even picked it up and was like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, because actual bookmarks are kind of expensive.
Because I will never, ever go back through that and probably and even thumb through to find that. But at the time, I thought it was very interesting. So I marked it.
Have you ever seen those people that will take like those little
think
miniature
Ovilus
sticky
is-
notes?
I did that too. I used a Kindle as a bookmark. Well, I think you win.
It's a very expensive bookmark.
You win. That's good. That's very good. And Pabs wants to ask, are chimpanzees aliens? And that'll be our last question tonight, Ovilus. Are chimpanzees aliens? We want to know. Come on, come on, come on. Any day now.
Shannon has another one. Let's
We
put it
got
to
it?
the test.
What was my grandmother's name? Yeah, I never hear names off this thing. Oh, actually, I take that back. It said Dave before. Freaked Dave out. Dave has this bad thing about if things calling his name. We were up at the deep end doing that investigation, and we heard his name several times, actually. Wow. And now it's quiet again. That's just weird.
Thinking.
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know how this thing works. I mean, what causes those spikes? You know, allegedly it uses EM to pick that up, and I don't know. It's not really a test. I have been told several things. Ovilus is sleepy. Yep, I think you're right. I think you're right. Well, I think that's going to be the end of Ovilus, the Ask Ovilus session for tonight. I hope you guys got your answers, and you know, we'll do it again, I'm sure.
Ovilus. On. Off.
I tried to sync it, but I don't think I made it. Well, that was fun, right, guys? I mean, that's the kind of fun we have around here from time to time. Again, I don't really know what I feel about that. A lot of it's, you know, it could be synchronicity, but man, some of those questions and answers were pretty much spot on. When you say, Brandon?
Yeah, some of them were, and some of them are like right when the question was asked.
Yeah. So what's happening in those situations? We have to really think about that. Are we dealing with something that can literally intercept and affect things like that? If we are, the intelligence level it must be massive, and it must also be extremely patient to deal with. You think about that. If you're that powerful, if you're that able to do things, but you can't just come out and say, you know, hey, I'm from, you know, dimension ZX401. Hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I just wanted to say, how you doing? You can't really come out and say that. So you just sit there and you manipulate things to make people kind of come to the terms that, you know, there's something there. I don't know. It's just crazy if you really think about it.
So, like, One thing I've thought about is maybe that's how everything communicates over there is through frequencies.
Facebook user energy connection is my theory. Yeah, it's basically it. Energy, frequency is energy. You know, it's that whole theory, right? And it's very possible, man, because you also have to wonder, you know, how these people use like the actual ovuluses and so forth. Well, even this one, but you know how it works. Well, how does it know? You know, that's my thing. How does the intelligence know? You know what to do to make this machine say those words? That to me, you know, that's why I used to say this stuff's just random. It's just random nonsense. But man, when you get enough random spikes and they start to not look random anymore, you really have to wonder what in the world is going on. And can things really manipulate stuff that much? Well, if we look at quantum physics, we have an answer for that, don't we? Because literally every answer to all the questions we asked, every possible answer exists in some way, shape, or form somewhere, right? So was that just some very intelligent something or another, you know, grabbing pieces and bits and pieces from the multiverse and throwing those answers into ours? This is the crazy stuff that happens to you when you start thinking about this, when you go down that rabbit hole. Because, you know, physics says it could be. That's the weird part. This isn't like science fiction anymore.
Yeah, another thing that gets me is like, do they only speak the language they knew in their life? Or have these things ever actually been in a physical body? How would they know how to speak English?
Right.
How would they know the words to choose? Like, confusing stuff like that. Like,
James Boggs had found out where the word genie came from. It's Roman and what it meant. The djinn. Yeah. We were actually, you don't know this, James, but we were actually working on a program about the jinn back in the day. That was right before we lost Wayne, and he really wanted to do a episode on the jinn. He had got into all those old books the man had. It was just incredible. Good night, Deuster. Thank you for coming, old buddy. Let's see. But we never got around to doing it. That's what I'm getting at. And I don't know why it got shelved. Because it's such a great it's a great topic.
yeah, that story is very old.
Yep. And there's multiple versions, you know, there's multiple interpretations from what I understand as well.
Middle Eastern mythology is really interesting. Like the Ifrit, those are pretty interesting. The fire demons.
Uh-huh. Let's see what we got. We had our ovilus this weekend keep saying water over and over. We thought it was just random, as there was no connection, we knew, to water. Found out today there was a big connection. There's Pat talking about the jinn. Arabic legend about the jinn. Chin scare me more than puppy dudes. Yep, they should. They absolutely should scare you more than puppy dude. You're dealing with an extremely intelligent being. Roman from the genus or a spirit that knows all past, present, and future.
Some people think jinn are actually fallen angels.
Yep, I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah, that's exactly what a lot of people think they are. And, you know, again, labels, right? What does that really mean? You know, that's what that comes down to. And we don't have time for it, but we could go into that and launch into probably an hour-long discussion just on that subject alone. But yeah, you're right. A lot of people do believe that. And that was kind of where Wayne was going with it too. He actually thought the same way. And he saw a connection between some of the Bigfoot activity and the jinn. And, you know, he was kind of weaving that together into a what if kind of situation. And at the time, we were like, yeah, I don't know. But now I'm like, dude, I mean, it's labels. It could be the same thing. Who knows? I mean, we don't know what these things are. Let's be real. There's allegedly a genus loci that haunts Hawks Nest State Park. What? What? In gypsy terms, a jinn is a spirit that you do not want to mess with. Yep. Yeah, mess with, communicate with, talk to, deal with.
I think it's even in Hebrew mythology. The jinn are.
Yeah. Yeah. And James said, yeah, same phenomena. Yeah, I know. That was the weird part, James. Because we're literally, the funny thing about when we were doing this stuff, when we started, he was very much a flesh and blood guy too. But the more we did these shows, he started to see this broader world, this crazier, weird world, and how there was actual evidence. And, he was trying to like get people to see that. And I think it was really cool to watch, because it's like when people find something like that, they're like trying to bring their friends over. Hey, come watch this, and come, look, this says this. And, it opens your eyes, and you just want to.
Yeah, that was something I noticed with him, because like early on, he would like be like, whatever, Ron. Talking about aliens again.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
would jump in and be like, yeah, here's how I think it connects to aliens.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of the last conversations we actually had. And that's kind of what it was about, man. It was like, there was other things too, but basically he believed that in the end that there was this underlying factor, that there was definitely not so much an alien as an extraterrestrial, but an alien as in whatever they are, this benevolent intelligence, and that's, we had called it a lot of things over the years, and yeah. Y'all still going? My battery died, and I just got charged back up. Jinns are tricky buggers. Yeah. In Arabic culture, jinn are considered to be the third race created by God, like angels, demons, humans, and jinn. Excuse me. If you took the machine to China, would it speak Chinese? That's a good question, Bigfoot, Littlefoot. And I always wondered that too. And if that's the case, then man, we are dealing with something highly intelligent, aren't we? Because how does it know? But there are these cases, and I'll give you one. There, what was that on? I think it was the Truth Is Out There, maybe, where they were doing some filming in Egypt. That was a weird one. You saw this or not, Brandon? But they were filming in Egypt, and the guy who was filming with the camera, he caught this when he went back to listen to it. He caught this EVP, and it wasn't, it was just the wind blowing, but there was a voice in the wind. And when he played it back, it was actually what they think to be like an ancient Egyptian dialect. But it wasn't a modern Egyptian dialect. It was an ancient Egyptian dialect.
We don't really know what that sounds like.
It was wild, man. So, that's a very good question. I mean, I haven't caught any foreign EVPs yet, but I'm pretty sure they do absolutely happen. Let's see. I think we're caught up. Let's go over and check our count real quick for you dudes and dudettes. Gosh, thanks for coming over, guys, and spending the evening with us. It's always fun. I know I've got a lot of stuff to do, but man, I really enjoy coming over here and doing this, because man, it's always fun to do this. Let's see. I'm trying to find our account. I want to see what our account is for you guys before we call it. Oh, we picked up some new peeps tonight. Thank you guys for subscribing.
Yes.
So much. Thank you so much.
Helps a lot.
Yeah. And guys, remember, you can always ask questions even after the live's off. Just, you can go back to the actual, and you can watch this live too. If you came in late and you wanted to see it, just go back and hit the live tab and you can watch the whole thing. And then ask your questions, and we'll get back to you. I try to get to everybody's questions. Let's see. Content. Where's the live? Here it is. comments. No, it hasn't polled yet, so it's not going to let me see that. Oh, wait, there it is. Hey, you guys didn't do bad. 324. Look at that. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really impressive because it's even less time. And you're at 324 and there was 459 for almost, it was 4 hours, wasn't it? We did last week. I promise you we're not going to do 4 hours tonight. We got too much. I got too much to do. But I got all my equipment charged. I got the night vision charged. I've got the thermal charged. I've got Phasmacam charged. I've got something else charged. All my headlights. I got my headlamps. They're charged. Now I got to figure out if I want to go out there and take the equipment or if I want to just go out and observe. Yeah, that's the hard part, because I just have this weird feeling that if I go out there not expecting something, or if I go out there not trying to capture something, I might actually capture something, but just with my own senses, not with any equipment. It's going to be a tough one. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I guarantee you'll hear about it next week. I promise. Thank you, James, for coming, and we'll see you back next Thursday. Everybody, I'm going to call it. My voice is starting to kind of go out at this point, I think. Let's get our last comments in, and I'm going to let's see what we got. We got James, you're correct about the root of the word. Roman genie, Arabian jinn, two different things. And what most people think about as genie is actually based on the jinn. And Anita, language is a concept. Telepathy doesn't transmit words. It's concepts. We understand no in various languages to mean the same thing. That's the concept behind the word. So the Chinese speaking spirit transmits the meaning of the word, birds, and the English speaking human mind comprehends it as birds. That's true. But we were talking about the machines. How does the machine do that? Because the machine's actually supposedly, translating the, I guess, spiritual energy or whatever it is, right? To make the words. That's the weird part. But no, you're right about telepathy, though. It works in complete symbolism and whatnot. It's the same way that, the whole ET communication works. You just think it, kind of. Think about old Indrid Cold there. Mm-hmm. Very good, though. Everyone, incredible show. Thank you all for coming out tonight and joining us. We'll be back next Thursday, and we'll see what our topic is. I thought we had one, but I really honestly don't remember what it was now. Hopefully we'll get Ron on. If we do, I'll put up an ad if that's going to happen. Thank you for being here, Adam. Thank you. And one last. All right. It's never going to get old. It's never going to get old. I promise you that. All right, everybody. We're out of here. Do have a good, safe weekend. Make sure that you listen to the show. It drops tomorrow, I think, around noon, something like that. And we'll be talking more about the flesh and blood aspects of Bigfoot. And if you have any questions, like I said, just make sure that you go in there and actually, ask the question. And we'll get to you, I promise. Everybody, good night. Thank you. God bless. And we'll see you again out there.